So, it's landed. It's actually a smaller box than I know that this probably looks huge, but if you look at it in relation to my hand, it really isn't, which, you know what it's like when you're really excited about getting a delivery and the guy comes and you're like, yes, yes, and you open the door and you're like, where is it, where is it? And they're like, anyway, it's here. This is my first ever Sephora order. This is what I spent my birthday money on, and I am super happy. It's kind of surreal when you get something that's come from so far. I think it just makes it even more exciting, and there are things in here which you just can't get in this country, and that in itself is exciting. So without further ado, I have opened this already because I, in my paranoid way, wanted to check to make sure everything was okay, rather than me rip into it and open it and find out everything wasn't okay and then risk you guys seeing me just cry on camera or something. Anyway, to get the samples out of the way first, one of the samples that I ordered isn't actually here, and I'm assuming that is because it went out of stock, and that was the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair Eye Balm stuff, which I've mentioned before. I love it. I'm not quite in a position maybe to buy any just yet, which is why when I saw the sample I was like, yes. But the samples that I did get the selection wasn't great by the time I went round to order, but I got some of this Cover Effects click stick sample stuff. There's it's basically these little tear off things, and there's like a correcting yellow one, a covering one, which looks like it's N40, whatever shade that is, which probably won't match me, an enhance in bubbly, and an enhance in golden peach. So, intrigued about that. We shall see. Could be rubbish, but you never know. The other sample I got is from Korres, and it's a Greek Yoghurt Foam Cream Cleanser. I'm not a massive fan of like rippy packet samples, but it sounded nice, so I went for it. Anyway, into the actual box. Oh, where do I start? Where do I start? Right, okay. I got this from Boscia, which is a detoxifying black cleanser. It's a warming cleansing gel for all skin types. As far as I'm aware, I don't think you can get this in this country. If you can, it may well be expensive. So I'm pretty sure that this is a deluxe travel size. I was basically wanting to try this, but just wanting to spend enough in order to get me into the flat rate of shipping for a Sephora order to the UK. I probably should have talked about the process of that, but maybe I'll save that for the end. I was too excited to get into this. So yeah, I'm really intrigued to try this. It was a bit of a blind purchase. I've not really heard anything about it, but I'm always up for trying a new cleanser. I've heard great things about Boscia. This is what it actually looks like. So I will report back about how I got on with this. It's a warming gel cleanser that deeply cleans and detoxifies, dissolves pore clogging impurities, oil and makeup as it refines skin texture, brightens skin, clarifies and minimises the look of pores over time. So I think that sounds really lovely. Okay, so the next thing I've got, I know that you can't get in the UK, and I know this, at least for the moment you can't, because their only stockist in the UK is QVC, and I've been stalking QVC's website not quite daily, but very often since I discovered a sample of this, and I just knew it was a really great primer. It is from Tarte, of course, and it is their Clean Slate Poreless Primer. This is a lovely primer. I say this now, but I have just won the most amazing thing on eBay, and I don't want to say what it is just yet in case it turns out to be a dud or whatever, but it is also a primer. So I now have two potentially amazing primers in my midst. This one I've obviously tried before, the other one I haven't yet. But anyway, I'll save that for a whole other time. So This primer is one I managed to find a sample of. I jumped in and tried it before I found out that you couldn't actually buy it in this country. So this is what it looks like. I really like the packaging that Tarte do. So it's got a really nice kind of bamboo-esque handle, and I don't think, yeah, this has got a safety seal on it, but it's a clear kind of gel, very smoothing feeling primer. I did show this in my Tarte Amazonian Clay First Impressions video if you want to go and have a look at what it looks like and how it performs, but obviously I liked it enough to get it all the way over from the States, so that's something else I picked up. The next thing I got, because of course it was timing for my birthday, I picked up the Marc Jacobs option for the birthday gift. The other gift was a fresh, the brand Fresh Skincare kind of thing, and as much as I'd love to try the Fresh Sugar Lip Treatment, which you cannot get shipped over from Sephora to the UK, I did try and find various different ways around that, but it just was not going to happen. So yeah, quite gutted about that because it's supposed to be amazing lip stuff. I wasn't too jazzed about the Fresh Skincare stuff, and this was the other option, and it's the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Eye Crayon in black and a lip cream in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. If you don't know and you've not bought anything from Sephora before, when it's your birthday you can choose 2 gifts for them to send you. So this is the little eyeliner, which, is that twisty? Oh, it is twisty, okay, yeah. Which is very much creamy smooth. I do really like my Stila smudge sticks though, so we'll have to see how that compares to the Stila smudge stick. I mean, just wiping my finger over it there, it is sort of smudging a bit, so whether it dries down or not, I don't know. We'll leave that for a minute just to see. And then, how teeny tiny is this? It's a baby lipstick. It really is a baby lipstick. Look at that. How cute is that? I don't know why my first reaction is to smell things, but it's, well, that's potentially going to last me a long time because I don't really do lipstick, but I'm thinking of dabbling. Okay, it's a nice colour. Whether it will suit me, I don't know. I won't put any on now because I don't have a mirror with me, and yeah, I'll just make a big mess of that. But it's like, I would say that's a kind of creamy raspberry colour. I watch other people describe lipsticks and they do a much better job of me, but that's how I would describe that. It's a very creamy raspberry colour. So that was the little birthday gift. I've kind of left you guys hanging, haven't I? Because there are 2 things left in here. They're both palettes. This is essentially what the Sephora order was all about. Initially, it was for this primer because you couldn't get it in this country. But when I saw one palette in particular, this has been sat in my Sephora basket for weeks. It was in the sale, and I was so worried it was going to go out of stock in the time that it took me to place this order. And it is. It's really heavy actually. How gorgeous is this packaging? It is of course by Tarte, and it is their Energy Noir palette. How this didn't sell out, I don't know, because it was, I think it was a bargain. Now that I've seen it and felt the weight of it, I think this was a bargain. I think it was about £20, which, you know, for Tarte makeup is really good. I can't remember what the original price was. If I can still find out any info on it, I will pop it on screen. But this is what it looks like in the flesh. I mean, how pretty is this palette? Gorgeous purple. The back, I'll try and see if I can position it. You can see my tripod legs there. And woohoo! Hello! The back is just a very high mirrored sort of gold colour. Like I said, it's really heavy. And then inside, you've got a little protective film over the top, which is also telling you what colours are in here. So you get a blush in Unearthed, you get a highlighter in Crystal Spark, and then I think the rest are eyeshadows, and the eyeshadows are Full Moon, Charged Up, Dark Drive, Stone Unturned, Up to Slate, Misty Mauve, Power Plum, and Lunar Eclipse. One of my absolute current favourite YouTubers is Cassie over on Thrift Thick, and I didn't know that she owned this palette, and I've been working my way through her back catalogue, and it was really surreal because I literally got up to the point in her videos a couple of weeks ago when I'd already found this palette, and suddenly she's mentioning it in one of her videos, and I was like jumping up and down going, oh my god, that's the palette that I want, and I really love this YouTuber, and she loves this palette too, and it was just a really surreal moment. But I saw her use it. I think she used it in a Get Ready With Me, and it just cemented in my mind how utterly gorgeous this palette was and how much I wanted to use it. I think the colours in here are really pretty. I think they'll be really good for sort of autumn winter, which I think is the timing of the year that this palette originally came out. You've got some really nice plums and purples and greys in there as well. So I'm really looking forward to swatching this. I haven't even touched it yet. Okay, so I just had to take everything off the SD card because I've been talking too much and I still haven't sorted out a larger memory card, but I will do that. And I don't normally film at this time of day, and the lighting's all going horrible, so bear with me, but I really wanted to get this film to show you guys, because if you follow me anywhere, I've been mentioning this order quite a bit. So I was just talking about the Tarte palette, but I was kind of rushing through it because I was running out of room, but I can relax a bit now because we're all good on the camera. So yeah, this is what it looks like. I'll just take protective thing off. So these are the colours that you get, and like I said, I think this would be really good for autumn and winter time. Really pretty colours in here. I'm going to touch one. I've not touched any of them yet, but I am going to touch one. Let's get my arm ready. My little boy's looking at me like, oh, you're gonna do what? I want to go for the blush first because I've heard so many good things about Tarte blush. So this is it here, and the colour is Unearthed. Ooh, that is so silky soft. I'll probably do some cutaway swatches just so that you can see a bit better. But that is gorgeous. It's really reminiscent of a blush, I think it was by Calvin Klein, that I used to wear. So I'm really pleased about that because I did love that colour. And then we've got this lovely highlighter here in, what colour was this? Crystal Spark. Wow, that is a highlighter. I don't have any powder highlighters. I only have Benefit's High Beam, is it? So it would be nice to have a powder for a change. And then let's just do a couple of these eyeshadows. Let's do this purple gorgeous one here, which is in Up to Slate. It's a very shimmery, iridescent purple. Pretty. And then there's a really matte purple here, which is in Power Plum. Wow, that is dark. So you've got the highlight here, blush, Up to Slate and Power Plum. Gorgeous colours. And there's Charged Up as well, which is also like a shimmery iridescent taupe, I would probably call that, which is down here next to the plum one. So that's one of the palettes I got, which I just think the packaging of this is just gorgeous and covered in fingerprints now, but it feels really weighty. I think if you gave this to someone as a gift, they would be over the moon. I think the colours are really workable. So that was one of the palettes I got. So the last thing that I got, and it was this, that was the thing that as soon as I added it and bought it, it was out of stock, so I'm guessing I must have had the last one, and it caused me a bit of worry because I thought that none of the order was going to go through. This one was more expensive than the last palette because of it being bigger. Again, I think the packaging is really nice. This is the Empower Flower Amazonian Clay Collector's palette. And this wasn't even available when I'd first started pulling together the order that I wanted to create, so I'm assuming that this was just one of these things that popped up and then I snatched the last one. So unlike the last one being a metallic finish, this one is like a card finish. I'll just open it up, and again you've got the protective covering over it, but unlike with the last one with the names being written on the actual protective film, it's written on the palette itself, which is obviously a lot more helpful. So in this one you get 2 blushes, and I'm assuming this is like a bronzer or something. I have heard of it, but I guess you could probably use that as a blush if you wanted to. And then you've got a few different eyeshadows here as well. We've got Compassionate, Vivacious, Pretty, Powerful, Energetic, Eco-Chic, Charitable, Glamorous, and then these ones are Trustworthy, Empowering, and Park Avenue Princess. And I just think for me to be able to try Tarte as a brand and being able to try quite a few blushes, different colours, and different eyeshadows, I thought it was a really good way of being able to try them without committing to buying a full size of something. So we'll just swap sides and I'll do a few swatches. Again, I'm instantly attracted to the blush, so I'm going to go for Empowering, which is another, it's quite similar to the other one, but whereas the other one is now looking actually a bit more peachy coral in comparison, this one's definitely got more pink to it. The other blush, Trustworthy, I've never used a blush like this before, but I'm really intrigued to try. It's very nude peach, I would say, is the other blush. And then, God, they're really silky in texture. The softest blushes I think I've ever tried. Really silky. Park Avenue Princess. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I'm going to have to look into this one. You can probably just about see it. Like I said, I will do some cutaways just so it makes it a bit easier to see them. And then I'm immediately attracted to Vivacious. Can you see that? Wow. Amazing colour payoff. I'll definitely get a lot of use out of that. I tend to like these for like a liner colour, bit of a detailer, but lovely. In fact, this palette and the other one are going to complement each other really nicely because there are some similar colours in here, but ones that are different enough that will be able to work together well. So that is it in terms of what I got for my first ever Sephora order. I feel like I am now hooked. It was such a simple and easy process. If you're living in the UK and you've never ordered from Sephora before, it is really straightforward. If you spend under £75, then you'll have to pay whatever the price is for shipping, which is probably quite an eye-watering amount. If you save up your order and you spend over £75, which is what I did, then you just pay a flat shipping fee of £6, which I think is really good considering how far it's coming. And the way it works in terms of it coming from the US is they use a company called Border Free, which I've definitely heard of before from other people talking about them, particularly on YouTube or in the blog community. And they just handle everything for you. They work out what your customs is going to be so you don't get any nasty surprises. When I did my order, I can't remember how much exactly it was that I spent. I think I only just went over the threshold just so that I could experience the process without committing ridiculous amounts of money. That was what I got for my birthday with the birthday money that people gave me, so thank you so much. If anyone's watching this video who gave me money for my birthday, I'm delighted with what I got. I'm so pleased, particularly with those two Tarte palettes. I think they're beautiful and I think I will get a lot of use out of them. So look forward to maybe seeing videos on these products in the coming months. I hope you're all super well and enjoying this really random weather that we're having at the moment. We've gone from like ridiculously hot to quite overcast and cool like it is today. But wherever you are in the world, whatever weather you're enjoying, I hope you're really well and I will see you again soon. Bye! This stuff is just beautiful. It was a YouTube made me buy it when I originally bought it a long time ago. It almost has holy grail status for me in terms of the perfect cleanser. The only thing that is